Councilmember Charamello, 9.4.
9.4 is related to purchasing Microsoft Office 2007 for all city computers at a cost of $311.89 per copy. It seems to be a very high price for something that we're buying 74 copies of. You would think that with having that kind of quantity that there would be a quantity discount. I know Microsoft is a pain in the butt to work with at times, but I would imagine there are other options out there. Also, from what I read in the staff report, the problem is that Office 2002, and I don't know whether there is an Office 2002 because mine is Office 2003, is not going to be maintained after June of this year. There are updates online that allow you to continue to use the old program and access the documents in Office 2007. I simply question as to whether there's a need to spend this kind of money, or whether we've only used the one agency to find a reasonable price. I remember at the last meeting, Mr. Graska got up and spoke to this issue, and I'd like to give him the opportunity once again to address it, or anybody else for that matter in the audience.
Well, let's wait until we get to public comment. But did you have a response to the Councilmember Charamello's concerns?
Well, it is $311. That is the estimate that we received on the California schedule that is offered to California public agencies for Microsoft. They are very expensive. It is true that there are updates available, but my understanding is that they will not be supported after the end of this year. So that's a problem for a lot of reasons. The biggest problem that we have is we get documents from other agencies that we have to work with that are in the newer version of Office 2007. And also, in addition, there's another advantage to going to Office 2007 is we're trying to put a lot of stuff on the internet with PDF files. We have to buy separate software to do that. I'm told that we will not have to do that with Office 2007. That's one of the enhancements of Office 2007, as well as some productivity enhancements that make it easier for us to do our work. We don't have to buy this software. However, we'll have to buy it eventually. So we can buy it next year, and we can struggle with the old version for another year. But eventually, it'll get to the point where we will have to buy it.
By not purchasing this, what effect will that have on us being able to put documents on the website and downloading stuff for the community to have access to?
Well, again, this is one of those areas we talk about technology. It will just make it harder and more rigorous, I would say. Right now, it's currently true. We get our documents we can't open, and so then we can't be responsive to our public, whether it's from another agency or whether it's from a member of the public. So then we have to send it to our IT person, which we have only one of, to convert the file to a lower level that we can read it. So we need to move to a new platform, basically, is what the situation is. And this is money that we had budgeted in this year's budget. It's coming. It is what it is. Microsoft is a monopoly of software. There's not a competitor out there that we can actually go to, and we are getting the best price as a public agency that we can get.
And there were 2 other bids, I understand. Is that correct? Or 2 other?
Yeah, those were just regular bids. They weren't off of the schedule that's available to public agencies. I just did that in order to prove to myself that schedule was competitive. I didn't want to be in a position where it was more expensive. So
as I understand this, CompuCom is similar to when public agencies buy vehicles. They buy them off the state contract or any other kind of item. If they have to buy lumber or stuff like that, there's a state contract. They can go to that. It gives them specific prices, and it meets all of the qualifications for legal statutes in terms of purchasing.
Now, if we were an educational institution, we may have been able to get a better price, but we're not. So I do think they have a lower price for schools.
Yes, they do. You say that there are documents that are coming in. I received an Excel 2007 document And when I told the person that sent it to me that I couldn't open it, he said, go online, and they have updates online that anybody can download on the web that allows you to access these documents and manipulate them just as if you had the software. So Microsoft was supporting that. My only problem is the exorbitant cost, I think, and being that you have 2 other bids, it more or less says that this bid is in the ballpark, but I'm just kind of wondering whether there aren't other providers that we could access. I mean, to do a web search to find out what's available out there doesn't take that much to do. And I think that's all I have on that right now.
Okay. Any other council member wish to speak on this issue?
Have you checked with the county to see what they do and how they're supporting their systems?
No, I
Solano
have
County?
not checked with the county at all. Our system is independent. We can't have people downloading different updates from the internet because we do not want anyone putting software on the city computers that's not authorized.
You have one person that does that for
Right.
you, right? When
And
the
that
time
is to
comes.
prevent people from putting their own software, putting pirated software, which we'd be responsible for. So we,
Or contaminated software.
right, so we do not allow people, it's perfectly fine when you're doing it at home to pick up these things, but when you're working for a city, you have to be very careful as to what kind of software gets on your computers. Viruses and other things can come into play. Basically, we are going to have to buy this software. Whether we buy it now or 2 or 3 years down the road. And it's better to have it sooner rather than later. The money is coming from the equipment replacement fund. That is the only source that we can spend that money on. And we did get a grant of $6,500 from the police department to defray some of the cost.
Isn't it true that we've had lots of public input about how our software systems aren't good and maybe we ought to be trying to update this technology-wise, and this is an opportunity for us to do that?
Yeah, and the big thing that really sold me on that was the fact that the PDF software is included in it. And everybody now is putting things on the internet themselves, and without that, it costs, there's a fee for each PDF software. I can't recall, I thought it was like around over $100 for each copy of the software.
All right, thank you.
I did have, oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I just had a question. I personally use Office 2007, and I know that it takes some getting used to. Was there some training that they were going to do? Because it is a lot different from 2003.
Yes, we've discussed this, and we will have some training on that for the employees as part of this money has already been set aside to train employees regularly on the various technology. You have to do that every so often. Okay. But a lot of employees will be able to just use it, you know, depending on how literate they are in the computer. It is a little bit getting used to, but you don't necessarily have to go to class.
I'd like to move on with this issue. Is there any other questions from the council?